This is a very specific threat against me, of all people here. So let's listen up to this one.
Legal mindset. I don't need to fight that nigga. I'll walk past the nigga, inject the nigga with some HIV blood with a fucking needle, nigga. Legal mindset.
See, that's a very specific threat against a very specific person. That's actually against me. So that is what you would call, and that's a threat. And that's what you call a pinprick attack, which is, you can Google it. There's actually Wikipedia pages about it. There's stuff like that about it. That is very much criminal to threaten, to talk about. And in many countries, there's actually specific statutes that relate to that legally, right? That specifically relate to that. So in countries like the United States, in Western Europe, there are laws. Now, in many places, there was a specific statute, the specific law that says that threatening people with AIDS or passing AIDS is illegal. Now, back in the day, these laws were controversial because many people thought that they would be used against people that lived other alternative lifestyles, like, for example, homosexuals. So in the past, they thought that these laws would be used widely to essentially ban homosexuality. By and large, with isolated cases and individual, exceptions aside, by and large, generally that did not happen. But those laws are still on the books, laws that criminalize specifically the intentional transmission of HIV or AIDS. But beyond that, you can actually use existing laws. So laws like intimidation. So saying, I'm going to do this because you cover me, or I'm going to do this if you don't release me. That is intimidation. That's also an attempted crime. It can be assault. And if you actually do it, it can be attempted murder or murder. So if you killed somebody, they died of AIDS, that would actually be murder. But in Korea, if you actually went over and threatened people with HIV, you could be guilty of any of these things: injury, attempted injury, serious injury, special threat, attempted crime, murder. Also, Korea has a special statute, a special law called the Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome, that's AIDS, Prevention Act. Article 19, prohibition on conduct risking transmission. What does that carry? I know you all want to know, and that is 10 years in jail. So 10 years under that statute for any conduct that would involve that. So that would be stacking on top of his already full stack of issues, 10 years in potential years in prison. That's a maximum penalty there. And once again, this is all stuff Johnny tried to delete because Johnny knew when he played that is a direct threat. That is a direct threat, not just the Korean people. He threatened me specifically, but this is very, very insane, right? And once again, he still has a criminal case pending. Isn't this nuts? Where the hell else does this happen? Ryobi said, careful, legal mindset. He will jump and fall flat on the pavement, then cower in fear and cope like he did with Yu Dagun, the French guy, and the man with the man bun. I am not, like, physically, RKI is a joke. He's a shrimp. If he, like I've said before, he threatened me with mace, he threatened to blind me, he threatened to, do all sorts of other stuff. Now he's threatening me with HIV needles, right? I mean, first of all, like, it doesn't take, like, a child could karate chop Ramsey Cletus Ismail. But the point of the matter is, is it a credible threat? It could be. It has the potential. In the United States, that threat would be more than enough to file a restraining order. That'd be very clear if I wanted to do that. That'd be very, very simple. But yeah, we'll see what comes of that. I want to leave a little mystery to the consequences for RKI. There will be filings.